Howard Sounes. Howard, it's a great book. It's a thick book, and I sort of intended to flick through it so I could ask some questions, but I actually started reading it. I got hooked in. Great job there. But he's always been a very confident man, and in the very beginning you talk about what a great childhood he had, what a good family. He was really given a lot of confidence in life.
Yes, I think all the Beatles benefited from parents who really supported them. They all had strong women behind them, and Sir Paul's mother, Mary, was a very loving, supportive mother. Of course, she died of breast cancer when he was a boy, the same illness that killed his wife later in life.
Let's move on to Germany. They had some wild times, didn't they? A young rock band on the Raz in Germany. What's some of the scandal there?
Well, I mean, they were single young men, and as you will read in Fab, of course, it's a famous episode in the Beatles' story. It's their first time away from home. Young guys from Liverpool, never been outside the UK before, and they go to Hamburg, which, of course, famously has a red light district, does to this day, where prostitution is legal. And, of course, they discovered sex and all that goes with it. So I'm sure they had a wonderful time.
One of the more controversial aspects of your book is talking about the lady who would become Paul McCartney's wife, Linda Eastman, and she certainly had her moments too. She wasn't always the saint that she became. She was a great woman, but in the early days, there's a little bit of scandal there too, isn't there?
Well, yes. I mean, I personally didn't like her when I met her, and this thing about her being a vegetarian saint seems to me to be rather silly. Certainly, she had a very good marriage with Paul, and they were a very successful married couple, very good parents. And I'm not criticising the woman, but before she met Paul, friends say that she was essentially a groupie. She had a remarkable string of famous boyfriends before Paul, including Warren Beatty, Jimi Hendrix, Mick Jagger. And the evidence is fairly clear that she set her cap at Paul McCartney. She wanted to marry a Beatle, and she got her man.
And did Linda and Yoko break up the band?
Well, I think Yoko perhaps broke up the band. I mean, I wouldn't say Linda did. Linda supported Paul throughout his life in everything he wanted to do. As somebody says in Fab, she was his staunchest ally, his best lieutenant in everything in life. But Yoko, I think, was a divisive influence. And although, of course, Yoko and Linda are very similar people, both New Yorkers, both divorcees with a young daughter to bring up, both from a kind of artistic background, both very aggressive, ballsy American women.
So let's talk about Heather Mills. A lot of people warned Sir Paul about her, but he didn't listen, did he?
No, he didn't. I mean, my goodness me, this man, so intelligent, so shrewd, so successful throughout his life, how could he have fallen for this woman who really was a kind of a standing joke in the British media, this former topless model who became a minor tabloid celebrity? Why did he fall for her? Well, I think, frankly, partly he was befuddled by grief. It wasn't that long after Linda had died. And I think also, as one of his cousins says in Fab, it was sex. Heather is a very sexy woman, and she was a few years ago, certainly. She was a flirtatious, attractive girl. And I think also he felt sorry for her, because, of course, she only has one leg. And I think he kind of wanted to look after her, not realising really what sort of woman she actually was.
Now, there's a new woman in Sir Paul's life, Nancy. I hope he's happy, is he? What have you got on that relationship?
Yes, I think he is happy. I mean, again, Nancy is very similar to Linda. She's a Jewish New Yorker from money. In fact, her apartment in Manhattan is just a few blocks from Linda's apartment when Paul was romancing Linda back in the 60s. Her dad is a self-made man like Linda's dad, an immigrant to the States who made a fortune, a very, very wealthy man. And so I think Sir Paul obviously likes that American confidence, the New York brash American women. And I think he likes the fact that she's got money of her own, because he's been burnt once. He doesn't want to lose another $50 million.
No, that wouldn't be nice. Well, I very much enjoyed the book. Thank you very much. It's called Fab, if anybody wants to get it, by Howard Sounes. Howard, thank you very much.
Thank you.